Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Cobalt. We are on day 2, I guess, technically, of me working through my newish schedule. I would say that I kind of half followed it. A lot of these tasks I can do now on autopilot, and so I didn't really reference back what I needed to do today. But it was also hybrid because I already had all my stock, so today would have been a sourcing day. But instead what I decided to do was go ahead and do another round of practice of photo enlisting 16 items. So let's go back and talk about yesterday. I think after I recorded, I needed to start my photos. And the first set of photos I just totally blew through. Was so easy. Was listening to music. And then I remembered, I have to do this again. I almost sat down and listed my first 8 because that's what I normally would have done. But I was like, you know what? Nope. Gotta go in batches. That's the process. So I went ahead and did the second set, and I kind of slogged through those. The box I grabbed had some complicated dolls in it. Like one of them was another toddler size vinyl doll. I think it has a crying mechanism feature in it, but the zipper on mine was actually stuck, so I couldn't see what was inside of the doll or test it. I spent kind of a long time trying to figure out how to photo that. And then I also had a few sets. One thing that I kind of observed with photoing 16, which is double what I've done in the past, is realizing that okay, I need to make the items I'm choosing more simple. Unless it is a really high dollar amount. Like the crying doll I referenced, that one was made in Italy. It's from the 70s. There's only one other listed on eBay of her. So I listed her at $175 and there's already 3 watchers on it. So that one is worth the extra care. But in terms of trying to bundle smaller items to hit my metric, I can just cut that out. And that will just make my job a lot faster with photoing them. So I did end up timing myself just out of curiosity to reference. I would assume if I'm listing 8, which takes an hour for photos, an hour for listing, then it would just be double that for 16. And it pretty much was. So anyways, this was the time. So I did my first batch of photos 5:42 to 6:34. So that's 52 minutes. And then my second batch went from 6:34 to 7:25. And that was 51 minutes. So that's interesting because I just felt like it took forever, but it was actually the same amount. So who knows? Photography took me roughly a little under 2 hours. Then I guess I was in the flow of working, right? So I went ahead and moved rooms to my couch where it's a bit warmer. And I did my first batch of 8 from 7:25 p.m. to 8:20 p.m. So that took 55 minutes. And then I basically crashed and burned, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't care. That can be tomorrow's problem, because I knew I didn't have to source, so I technically had an extra day to list if I wanted it. I think I watched a show and had dinner and just kind of lazied around, and then at some point I was like, you know what? Let me just knock this out. I still have time. So then I did the last set of listings from 10 p.m. to 11:20 p.m. So, an hour 20 for that one. I definitely got distracted quite a few times during all of these processes. And then it was just a lot of reminding myself okay, this thing you're distracted by, you don't need to do it right now. I know some resellers who do a lot of listings, they actually get a second phone so that they're not getting distracted by all of the pings and notifications. So yeah, something to think about in the future. I mean, it would also help, filming, because oftentimes when I'm ready to film, my battery on my phone's at 10%. And I'm well, I guess I have to wait. So anyways, even though it took 4 hours roughly to photo and list 16 items, like I was really happy that I didn't have to also source that day. So listing kind of takes me an hour for 8 because I'm usually like researching the item again, finding comps, like the actual listing of plugging things in takes like a minute or two, but it's like the finding the information, making sure I'm writing all the flaws, and like describing the doll correctly. Like that's the part that takes a while, especially if the doll is in a different language. Then like I'm like finding a similar one, copying and pasting the title into ChatGPT, and then asking them to tell me what is the name of this character versus what is the animation studio, because I'm just like, I don't know Japanese. So I'm hopeful that I'll get faster the more I do this. And I was thinking another positive that I really hadn't considered is when it is time for me to grow, I would love to follow the path my coach did and like double the business, not grow by 2. My goal right now is to like save money until my 8 listings match 8 listings that I'm selling, and then plateau for a while and make sure my personal side is funded just as well as my business side, and then eventually double. So I'd actually like to go from 8 to 16. I don't think I've ever said it out loud, but here we are. We're manifesting it. So I think the benefit now of listing 16 in one day is that I'm kind of practicing that while I have all this time to get to that end goal, right? Today, I decided to go ahead and do 16 again. So the schedule for today should have been just customer service, pack my items, drop them off at the post office, and then source for like 8 hours. And then come home and edit the video. So it should have been a way different day, but I thought like, okay, if I just list 16 today and tomorrow, I could schedule them for Saturday and Sunday and not have to list those days, which will be a first because I've been working like every single weekend. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. It kind of puts some wind in my sails, like, all right, we're practicing right now. That's what we're doing. We're pushing ourselves and we're practicing. So today's schedule actually went by a lot smoother. And what was interesting is I woke up for my morning call today on a whim. So I didn't really get enough sleep again, but I woke up for my morning call. Therefore, my day started at 6 a.m. instead of 9 a.m. So I was basically just like drinking coffee and listening from 6 to 7 a.m. So my day really started at 7 a.m. So from there, I immediately started packing. Didn't have any customer service to deal with, so skipped that step. Packed my items. The next step would have been dropping them off at the post office, but because I was actually going to be leaving later on in the day for a dentist appointment, I was like, I'll just drop it off on the way there. The schedule also wanted me to film this video, but I didn't have anything to talk about this morning. So I was like, yeah, just skip it. We're just going to do things out of order today. So I immediately went into photo and listing my 16 items, and I was done with that around 1:30. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So it might have taken me 5 hours today. I'm not sure. I mean, there was quite a bit of distraction this morning with the dogs I have here, and just, I don't know what happened. But I guess maybe I felt like, oh, I have more time, so I can like watch a show while listing, which always slows me down. But I just get bored with like nothing playing in the background. So anyways, took an extra hour, but I was done by 1:30. And I went to my dentist appointment after that. On the way home, I dropped off my packages, and I got home and I was like, oh, I could just relax now. So the average reseller would probably be done by then. And I thought like, oh, maybe I can like research now. Or honestly, I ended up going to sleep. I was like, we're gonna have a nap. We put on our big girl pants and we went to the dentist, which I absolutely hate with my whole being. So, my reward was Sleep Town. So anyways, had a nice dinner, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just record this video. I can at least talk about what I've learned now 2 days in a row of listing 16 items. And I think the big takeaway from today was there's an element of getting things done for me when I'm tired. I barely remember packing my orders this morning because I was like zombie status. Like my brain's not awake usually till like 10 a.m. Even like photoing. I don't remember the first set of photos. I remember the second, but I don't remember the first, but they got done. And there was only one character I had to go back for and get the tush tag for. Yeah, like maybe I can do more if I'm just not as awake. Maybe it is getting into that like autopilot zone. I don't know. I don't really know if I can wake up at 6 a.m. every day because, I tried that earlier, a few months ago, and I struggled. But I also didn't go to sleep at a normal hour. So I don't really know what's possible. We're just testing the schedule. That's what we're going to do. All right. So I am going to throw in one awesome sale I had overnight. My sales have been kind of slow this month so far. I'm around like 1 to 3 maybe. And I think that's probably because I shrunk my store by 2/3. But I have been inputting high dollar items. So what is selling is actually high dollar items because that's what I pump my store with. So it's not a matter of like, oh, I sold this shirt today for $12 and I profited $7 after fees. Like I sold this Asian anime doll for $90 with $12 shipping and I profited $77 on her. So this girl falls into my let's take a chance on her category. I actually learned while I was researching her during the listing phase that she was actually like the equivalent of a YouTube creator in Japan. So I have some Japanese text on here. Kazuna AI Jumbo Nuagurumi. Probably butcher that. But those are the keywords I use to sell this. One of those is probably, I actually have no idea. But why I felt okay to pick her up was because of the tag. So on one side it is in English somewhat. So it says Sega. How do you say that word? Sega. It has the right logo, it's licensed, and even though she has like a little bit of hair on her, I just notated in the description like she's made of a type of felt that really clings hair onto it. I cleaned it as best as I could. And then the other side, Kazuna AI. I think that's maybe the name of the company that made it. I'm not sure, but here she is. Felt. She is 15 inches tall, and when I pick up girls like this, that sounds horrible. When I pick up characters like this, I just look for their sweet little faces. Man, I really don't know a lot about anime. Some are called like kawaii, I think is the keyword. It was when they would have big eyes, small mouths, kind of petite. It's like the cute version. Again, I don't know what any of these words mean, but I'm now know enough to recognize the style. I recognize the type of hair or flat felt. If they look maybe like they came from Sailor Moon or something equivalent, you should probably look her up. And this is a great size. She does come in like a tiny, like I think 6 or 8 inch size. But the bigger ones, for whatever reason, do better in terms of selling generally on eBay. So yeah, this person bought her at full price. She's actually going to be going to Hawaii. She's $12 shipping. I might make a few dollars from that since Hawaii's closer to me. I bought her in the thrift store for probably $5. So profit here after fees, $77.55 minus cost of goods. So roughly clearing $70. I'll take it. If I'm only making one sale a day and I'm making $70, like, I guess that's good enough. So try not to judge me or my store too much. I know we're in the building phase, so it's going to just have to be slow, I guess, again. All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.